Ahsoka season 2. People have been looking forward to it. Well, they're got to look forward to it into the future because it's not coming out this year. They thought it was coming out in 2026, but Filoni was doing that thing he usually does. Like, I don't know what's coming out. It's coming out in 2027. Um, Almost 4 years after the first season. Do people still care? That's going to be a question that we ask. The other question is, why did they cancel the plans to do Mandalorian and Ahsoka crossover and all that stuff too? Apparently, that's a big thing that was going to happen. No, that no longer is going to happen. So does that mean that the heir to the empire thing is kaputs? I believe so. But we'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about VisionQuest. We'll be talking about the fact that that is coming out soon in October. Christopher Nolan is got some stuff going on. The Punisher, Last Kill. We got a lot of things to talk about. So myself and special guest Chris Carr today, jumping from the Friday to the Wednesday show. I'm excited to talk to Chris. So let's get into it. It is the Kristian Harloff Show. Here we go.
Did you shit in there?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the show. It is Wednesday. Kevin Smith's on location right now. So joining me on the show, Chris Carr is here. Hello, Chris. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I know this is going to sound like absolute BS, but I had every intention of going to the gym today. And then I was like, oh no, I have to do the show. Oh no.
You know what's so funny about that is that it really does come down to like how often have you been going?
Yeah, but because of my schedule, it's been like I'm there once a week doing weights, and then I have my walking pad. So then I'm editing people's stuff and like standing on that for an hour.
It is funny though, like once like it's an initial struggle of like, all right, I gotta go, and you feel like you're making excuses and everything too. And then Sam just started going again to Ming, got her in there, and she's been working, and now that she's on that rotation, now she wants to go, and now she wants to, and it's like it just takes a little bit of time, but I certainly was that way as well. But anyway, thanks for joining me today. Appreciate it. We're gonna do some fun stories today. They got a lot of things going on, but you know what also is going on, what I felt it has been working is I told you last week, and I told you guys in the text, you know, we changed the game up a little bit on how because Roka hit 132, right? On 132, I think that was right, on Monday. And so yes, it looks like he is in the pole position to win the game on 132. However, Mike yesterday had a little bit over 100, but he had some big donations come in. And the way we're doing it now is that whoever wins monetarily at the end of the week is ultimately the person who wins. So you want to try to get to that 132 because, like, for example, like last week, the new rules weren't in play last week, but you and Winston had the most amount of super chats as far as your number goes, and you had the most monetarily, so you would have won either way. So that's just kind of how it's working. So right now at 123, you have 122 left to go.
All right,
not bad.
Let's go.
Let's do it. But we have some stories, so maybe let's see what we got, because this is an interesting thing. Yesterday I saw the whole there was like 2 Ahsoka stories that dropped, and here is the essence of it. I'm going to read the Forbes article. And that is that Ahsoka season 1 and 2, season 1 and 2 revealed release date gap is, from 1 and 2. The gap is absurd. Yeah, 4 years. Pretty nuts. While many shows are vocally trying and occasionally succeeding to get release date gaps shorter between seasons, over at Disney Plus land, they are not even remotely close when it comes to Ahsoka. Per Disney upfronts, have revealed that Ahsoka has been pushed to early 2027, which will make this likely at least 3.5-year gap, if not closer to 4, depending on what early means, or early if happens at all. Filming of Ahsoka season 2 wrapped in October 2025, meaning the post-production is going to be at least 1.5 years, which is frankly ridiculous, even for a Star Wars show. At upfronts, new footage was shown for the upcoming season, including more of Hayden Christensen returning as Anakin, as he did in flashbacks. Ahsoka is in the manifestation of Dave Filoni bringing a lot of his Rebels Clone Wars characters to live action. Those fans aren't wild about it, giving it about a 64% on Rotten Tomatoes. Critics giving it a higher 86%. But that's the 6th highest Disney Plus Star Wars series behind Maul, Shadow Lord, Star Wars Visions, and/or The Mandalorian and The Bad Batch. Why is it taking so long? Out of the usual. Some big shows just take forever in 2026, issue that plagues large chunks of the industry. In Ahsoka's case, there are two additional factors. One is that Ahsoka actor Ray Stevenson tragically died in May of 2023, several months before Ahsoka season 1 even aired. His performance was highly praised, but rather than write out the character, Game of Thrones actor Rory McCann was cast to take over the role, first reported in January of 2025, well ahead of October filming. Second factor is the larger one. Dave Filoni's not a showrunner and writer on Ahsoka. He will now be the co-president and CCO of Lucasfilm behind the entire creative direction of the franchise going forward. So that transition is likely to keep him busier than he would have been otherwise, likely pushing Ahsoka back even further. It's not clear if Ahsoka season 3 is supposed to arrive at some point in the future, but a reported big crossover film between The Mandalorian and Ahsoka, which will take place in the same time period, was reportedly thrown on the back burner, and now we have The Mandalorian and Grogu movie instead. Some have criticized Filoni for overly focusing on his past animated characters rather than expanding too far beyond that, and Ahsoka is not the most beloved project by fans, but more recently, Maul Shadowlord just broke every Star Wars review score record there is. The show have been created by Filoni himself. Still, a 3.5, 4-year wait for a new season of Ahsoka is laughable. Larger questions now be raised about the future of Disney Plus content at all, as nearly every show has now ended, short of few exceptions, Maul being one of them. Is Disney just turning back to films most exclusively? We may be walking that path. Lot to take in there.
Yeah.
Let's start. Well, I can start with the essence of that entire article. Do you agree that 4 years in between for this particular series is too long?
It's a really long time. I mean, people were freaking out about Severance with the
Right.
3-year gap. 4 years seems pretty out of pocket. But when you do think of the scope and scale that Star Wars can have to it, there is a little bit of grace you can do here, especially if we don't run into, an Obi-Wan situation where everything feels very on the volume. If we are doing a lot of practical kind of sets, if we are doing like big sweeping epic Star Wars, I can forgive anything as long as the story is good and everything looks great, right? They have run into so many issues, though. I mean, the loss of Ray Stevenson was massive because he truly was one of the highlights.
Yeah.
Now, you do have a little bit of poesy of, McMahon coming into the role because he was
He's
supposed to be
great.
an Andor and he was
Oh, was
injured
he?
and couldn't do
I
it.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
know
He
he
supposedly was cast originally in Andor,
Oh,
had an
wow.
injury, had surgery, and couldn't do it.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
So that's kind of a cool thing there to have him come in here. And also, he's just great. I've loved him since Hot Fuzz.
Yeah.
I know that's a very different part, but they've had a lot of things go against them. I just think for a show like this, the biggest issue is, like the article said, fans weren't super in love with this one. So
Right.
this gap here, it needs to either have some course correction also in that series so that season 2 comes out just gangbusters, kind of like how Rings of Power had a pretty lackluster season 1, and then season
Mhm.
2, people all went, oh, this is the show I wanted to see. Thank you. That's what I'm hoping the shift is, because if it's more of the same, this is already dead on arrival.
I agree with you, and this funny thing is, like, the first, like, 2 episodes of Ahsoka, I dug, right? I liked, and I
Yeah.
think, okay, it worked out, and I liked the episode with Anakin when they brought
Yeah.
when they showed some of the older stuff, but after kind of watching it back, it just doesn't transfer over. The writing, it's just not good. The writing's just not good, and the story could be good, but they still. I mean, they treat Sabine as if she's still a teenager. It's years later. It's like they didn't. The transfer over from animation didn't work. And somebody asked me that yesterday. Someone said, after seeing Maul Shadowlord, do you have more confidence in Filoni? And I said, well, do I have more confidence in animated? I have just as much. He's great in animated. He's great. I always said that always thought that would have been the better choice, is to let him run all of animation
Yeah.
and let him continue to put animated stuff out and animated movies and animated thing. I mean, it's his strength. He's really good at it. The other part of this is that they mentioned in this article, he's running the whole thing now. He's running the whole thing. So this is similar to, like, the James Gunn situation of it, where James Gunn is shooting movies and people are going to say that, well, Gunn does it. James Gunn has been directing movies, live action movies, for a long time. Dave Filoni has not. And this is a television show, which is, you got to really, I mean, there's only so much time.
Yeah.
But the thing is, there's certain shows and there's certain things, like, even look at, like, and this is a movie, but look at Spider-Verse, right? Spider-Verse is going to be a long time. Even the Batman 2, those are both two movies that, yes, it's taken a long time and people are like, let's go. But people will still care when it
Yeah.
comes out. They'll still care. To your point, Ahsoka wasn't that loved. The to the some hardcore fans, sure, but overall, not enough to wait 4 years. And so I think this is also, I've said this beforehand. I still think that Filoni is here, and hopefully he wakes up to this. He still thinks that Star Wars is like this impervious thing that it's as big as it always was, and people just love it, want to go see it, no matter what it is. They'll wait. They'll wait. It's not the case anymore. You really have to knock it out of the park. And there wasn't a lot of excitement going in the mall. It's that it delivered. Now, if so it can deliver, they're doing locations and stuff, then maybe that works.
Yeah, because Maul is amazing. A lot of it, honestly, I've got to be very clear. I don't have your Star Wars knowledge, right? I'm more about the Marvel stuff. And
Sure.
so I would have to stop and look something up, or I'd have to hit Logan and be like, why do I need to know him? What is this? What is this situation here?
But you cared enough to look.
But I was so excited about it because it
Right.
was, oh, something else is going on here. And
Right.
then it made me want to go back and revisit other Star Wars properties, which it didn't feel like homework. It was, oh my gosh, it's so exciting that I get to go back and watch, Rebels or Clone Wars or any of these other shows and go, oh my gosh, this makes so much sense now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that is the issue, though, and I think they're right, though, that you especially now that you're running the whole thing, you've gotta make sure that this expands, past the people who've never seen Rebels or Clone Wars. Like, I'll
Yeah.
take The Punisher, One Last Kill as an example, right? So, what a lot of the hardcore fans of that that watch it. A lot of hardcore fans that watch the Netflix series that checked that out all said the same thing, which is this is not a lot of new information. This is all stuff that we had seen before. But someone who'd never seen those before, and someone who now you're trying to connect this into the overall MCU, letting you know that this guy's going to be in your next big Marvel movies that comes out in 2 or 3 months. You're refreshing people and you're letting people know for the first time, kind of like this is really the essence of who this is, and you don't have to watch any of that other stuff. Go, and you've got to be able to do that with Ahsoka season 2
Yeah.
because I don't know, but now as far as the overall movie getting scrapped, look, I would love to see an Heir to the Empire movie. I mean, I really would. I don't know if you ever read those books?
No, so
Oh,
I'm not into the
man.
novels and everything. Again,
Yeah.
this is where like Logan will come in and be like, I got this amazing Dash Rendar thing. And I'm like, who?
What is that, right?
And so I that's when I have the Jabba Huddies kind of thing. But hearing about it all secondhand has been really interesting. Playing the video games and then getting
Mhm.
some of the knowledge has been really interesting. And that's the kind of stuff too that I think is what Star Wars needs, where it's a little less of the insular stuff that we've talked about of everyone's related or
Right.
everyone is interconnected in this Dickensian way. I think that kind of stuff is cool.
Yeah, see, I like the Heir to the Empire stuff too, because Heir to the Empire, remember, Lucas pretty much said, "That's it, done, no more
Yeah.
movies, that's it, 1983, bye-bye." And I think it was like 87 or something when those books came out, and they were pretty damn detailed. Timothy Zahn did such a great job on those. You read them and you just felt like you were there. Now, I would recommend to you that you do the audio book for those
Okay.
because they're really, really good. They're really, really good. I think Mark Thompson does the reading for it. I think so.
Okay.
People correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, it's excellent. It's excellent. And I always wanted to see, now they'd have to change things up because they changed certain things with canon. Now, some people there's still this rumor going around, and this is one of the other things, and I don't buy it, but it should be discussed. There's this rumor going around that Disney has made this mandate to kind of erase the sequel trilogy from the new canon. Not saying it doesn't exist, but find a way to make it that it's not this timeline that we're following, and we can do other things. The rumor is that they're taking it seriously. I don't believe this to be true. I think you're going to just piss off too many people if you do that. That's my opinion. However, the rumor is also that in season 2, because Ahsoka is the only Star Wars property that plays around in the timeline thing with the World Between Worlds, that you could do that, um, and then say, well, this is the timeline we're actually following from Dave Filoni's universe. Do you think it's
Sure.
possible?
I think they could play around with it. That kind of stuff, though, then gets me into, is this going to feel like multiverse territory almost, where then your audience is, wait, what is happening? What
Yeah,
is this? What is canonical? What is not?
right.
This is another reason why the novels and things to me are something I haven't got super involved in, because of the whole idea of G canon versus other things. And I understand, as a comic book reader, I should be totally fine with that. But it gets a little confusing if you're not super well versed with those worlds. And I feel like, unless it's executed really, really well, you're going to leave a lot of people just making Scooby Doo noises, just, "Huh?"
Yeah, you're gonna, and you're also gonna.
And you're
There's
going to piss
one,
people off.
the everything awesome crew will jump out the window. They won't know.
Yeah.
They won't know what. They won't know what to do. So I don't. But I just don't. I just think that becomes too messy. And,
Yeah.
you got to. Would I love it? I would love it. I would love it for if they were to say like, hey, that happened in a different timeline. They could still find a way to. I do think that Rey is a good character. I think that she should have been developed a little bit more instead of just throwing her into it. The Last Jedi, to me, it gets more and more rotten every time I watch it. I just hate it so much.
I'm
And
such an
then
apologist.
I hate it so much. But like you said though, I think that also comes from the fact that like you're more so into the comic book lore and that stuff. You don't have as much of a attachment to the lore and everything the way that I do.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I'm sure there's other comic book properties that, because of lore, I don't really give a shit about, to where you're like, well, that's just not how it.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
one of the
and
reasons
that's
why I hated the last Thor movie so much. I was like, you did this? You did
that's
this with this character?
Universal. That movie
Ugh.
stinks. I'll tell you what though, I don't know anymore what I'd rather watch. And overall better made movie, there's no doubt it's Last Jedi. But as I don't know what movie I'd rather watch. Someone's like, you have to watch Last Jedi again, or to watch Thor again. I don't know which one I'm picking. Love and
I
Thunder.
always go Last Jedi.
I just don't know what I'm picking. But and then Rise of Skywalker was just empty calories. So they're not really losing anything if they did it, except pissing people off and getting people upset. That's really what you're losing.
Yeah.
So,
Which is Star Wars, so everyone's always going to be mad.
yeah, it's true. Anyway, that's the fact that it's coming out when it comes out. That's the other. I guess my last part about this. When does it come out? Right. I think the first season came out in like August. You should not wait until August. This should be a January series. Honestly, it should come out in December, like the Mandalorian did. And Star Wars should own December again and for their shows. So when do you think it will come out? And then the other thing that I want to address is what they said interestingly at the end. Do you think they start to go away from television series right now and just focus in on movies?
Oh, I want to start with the movie question, because that's what I think they should do. I think that Star Wars has always been epic spectacle to me. I have a lot of nostalgia for the prequels, because those were the movies my dad took me to the theaters to see. And those were my first theatrical Star Wars experience, right? Aside from like him
Mhm.
showing me his old VHSs and then the re-releases and all of that stuff. I love Star Wars on a big screen. And I think the whole kind of fantasy story space opera makes sense in that kind of medium as well. So that's what I would like them to focus on, because also right now it does, and I know I keep making this comparison, it feels very Marvel-esque of, we're doing a lot of quantity over quality, and I'd rather have like a really good Star Wars movie every now and then, as opposed to, you know, several different animated series, several different live actions, a special, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
As far as the timeline, blah, I don't know. I really don't know.
I
It
think it will come
sounds,
out. I think it'll come out
yeah,
early. I think it'll come
okay.
out early. I think they'll get it because they should get it out before Starfighter, because Starfighter comes out in May of next year. So they're gonna probably want to get it out earlier enough in between like January to March. So that way you get it out there, and then because around the April you want Starfighter to really be the thing that's gonna be focused on for Star Wars. So it's either early, or you wait until after Starfighter and then you put it out again in like August, and then it's like at that point, I guess, do you care? Do you not? I don't know. But as far as I have changed my tune dramatically when it's come to the TV stuff, because I'm on record saying I thought that that's what they should have done in the first place. When I heard it, yeah, do TV shows, really dive into it, explore the lore, and then when season 1 and season 2 of Mandalorian came out, I'm like, see, and then it really started unraveling. And then you got Boba Fett, which I was like, oh, we're gonna get they're saying they're gonna get Sopranos of the Star Wars. You sure didn't. And then you're gonna get all these different, you get the Acolyte and all this. I'm like, oh my lord, it just started to really lose the mission. So it went from me going, yeah, let me see as many shows as possible, but then Andor proved that maybe it's like to me, there's more of a balance of what I want to see. And I think again, bringing up the Punisher and Werewolf by Night, do something like that.
Sure.
Do like a good 1 hour, 1:15 special presentation Star Wars thing, right? Or a 6-episode limited series, something like that. You're gonna put your quality into it and and don't do Monsters of the Week, and don't pretend, oh well, this is what George would have wanted, so we want to do Monsters of the Week, and we want to do pew pew. That's what everybody can handle. No, they showed you if you're gonna do television. Then you do what Tony Gilroy did for television. That's television writing. You can get away with the big spectacle all over that and a big monster here and there in film, because that's people want to see. You want to go for the spectacle of it with a story, and you have 2 hours to do that. So I think that's what they should do in TV. They're going to do it. But what you will see, I'm sure, Chris, is because of the animation side of it, I guess there'll be more animated projects in television.
And that's fine, because Dave Filoni does understand that well. And Star Wars Visions, I think, is so cool. There are so many times when those stories, I say to myself, why am I not getting that?
Right.
Why don't I have a series of that? And then I got The Acolyte, which I think, again, The Acolyte, to your whole TV writing situation, if someone had to edit that show down, because it is just a lot of stuff where we know what this twist is going to be. We know what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
Give me more Manny. Get me to, the prophecy and the legend, and let me get to everything you got to in the very last episode. I think if you have people who understand television formatting a little bit better here, then your stories are going to be better too. Because if The Acolyte had been a special or a film and had that kind of like 1:30 runtime as opposed to being several episods,
exploring like the old school stuff. Yeah, if you would explore the old school stuff, and if you would have just focused on Daphne Keane and her master, it would have been about them. And then the Acolyte stuff was going on. You have the 2 Jedi. It's almost like the Darth Bane novel, and you just, that's your focus. Get rid of the silly twins angle. It was ridiculous. I mean, no sense at all. The witches, get out of there. It's like just go take me with the Acolyte. What's going on with Manny's character in the shadows? How they have to discover him. The 2 of them together. You can still have the fact that the master was kind of hiding stuff, and that ultimately, maybe it was Daphne Keane. They what a waste of Daphne Keane. But
absolutely.
But anyway, but the point is, like, what can they do moving forward with it? And they're gonna have to reboot the whole damn thing if Starfighter fails. I don't think it will, but they'll have to reboot everything. Anyway, what do you guys make of all this news? What do you think about Ahsoka? What do you think the fact that they're releasing it? When should they release it, by the way? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know. All right, before we move on, I got to tell you about Hims. You want to help out the show. You want to keep us going. You want to keep us on the air. Make sure you check out our sponsors. I'll tell you about Hims. They're amazing. Check it out. All right, so you don't want to just lose weight. You want to lose weight, but you want to look better and you want to feel better. And that is why Weight Loss by Hims now offers access to the FDA-approved Wegovy pill and the FDA-approved Wegovy pen. It is designed to help you lose weight and keep it off so you can stay on track with your goals. With Wegovy at Hims, you lose up to 20% or more of your body weight when combined with diet and exercise, which is very important. It helps you regulate your appetite and eat less, so success is within reach. Plus, Wegovy is the first ever GLP-1, so there are no needles needed. Doesn't stop there. Hims makes hitting your goals seamless by offering access to 24/7 messaging with your care team and in-app lifestyle and nutrition support like recipes, meal plans, fitness videos, sleep content, and more. So if you're ready to reach your goals, you got to visit hims.com/Christian, get a personalized, affordable plan that gets you. That's Hims, HIMS.com/Christian, hims.com/Christian. Weight loss by Hims is not available in all 50 states. Wegovy is a registered trademark of Novo Nordisk AS. To get started and learn more, including important safety information, Wegovy clinical study information and restrictions, visit hims.com. Thank you to hims.com. Very happy that they're on board. Excited to have them as a sponsor. They're a wonderful sponsor. So I hope you guys have been checking them out. All right, Chris Carr, we got one of the I've been mentioning this. I was excited for VisionQuest already because I really liked WandaVision. I was curious to see where they were going to go with it. I wouldn't know at first, but I'm way more excited today than I was 2 weeks ago. And the reason for that is because I have been watching 12 Monkeys.
Okay, yeah, you said this.
And
I never saw the movie or the series.
So I mean, I like the movies. The movie's really good. The TV show is significantly different with there's certain similarities, but the TV show is significantly different. I'm really enjoying it a lot. But I want to make sure I get the guy's name right. It's Terry Matalas, I believe, who is and he also does Picard, I think, too.
Yes.
So he is getting me excited for VisionQuest now that I've seen 12 Monkeys, right? So for PLD, I don't know if PLD's watching us, or Luke, you know what, Luke, maybe throw in to the chat that's going on right now that he'd be somebody I'd be interested in talking to for VisionQuest when that comes out. Disney used its upfront presentation tonight to announce a couple of nope, see, look at me, idiot. All right, so arguably the biggest news is that Star Wars Ahsoka won't be returning this year after all. Instead, it's been pushed to an early 2027 debut. Okay, the delay, where is it? Okay, meanwhile, Marvel's long-awaited WandaVision follow-up VisionQuest has locked an October 14th, 2026 release. The series, which stars Paul Bettany as the android and former Avenger, arrives after nearly 4 years in development. It's also being dubbed the final installment in the trilogy following 2022's WandaVision and 2024's Agatha All Along. Okay, so here's the thing. We just had this conversation about Ahsoka that you got 4 years in between, right? Now this is again, you're gonna have to catch up and go, oh wait, we're Vision. I thought Vision was dead. Oh wait, what? You have to catch up again. However, I think right now, even though Marvel has, we've all agreed, obviously had that skyrocketing, just the best success of any franchise ever, and then it's been kind of rocky as of late.
Yeah,
but they seem to have some juice back right now. Now, granted, Daredevil Born Again, the ratings itself, not great. But most people who watch this series, and for people who've been asking, I'm going to probably do episode 7 and 8, and then just put it up on the channel. If it does 2,000 views, it does 2,000 views. I've been trying to finish. I just haven't gotten to it. So I'll throw that up in the channel eventually. But most people who've watched that series have dug it. And The Punisher, dug it. Spider-Man, poised to probably be the biggest movie of the year outside of Doomsday, also coming out at the end of the year. So they're in really good shape right now. If they also put out a show right before Doomsday, right after Spider-Man, and that's good, with the guy from 12 Monkeys and Picard, and you turn this into, hey, Marvel's back on track. This is okay to wait, even though it's being a little I guess a bit hypocritical of what I was saying before about Ahsoka.
Yeah, well, and it doesn't feel as in between because it is a new series.
Right.
So that does feel a little different, even though it is we last saw Vision in WandaVision. This feels, I mean, one, like the time it kind of takes to create a television show. And also,
Illusion?
Accidentally muted myself. When we're I had my keyboard in my lap and hit M. Okay. When we're dealing with an android of sorts,
yes,
I can forgive time a little bit more. And Paul Bettany is an ageless being somehow. I am always floored by how young that dude looks. But like this is such a potentially weird story too, that I think a lot of the kind of like timeline sins can be forgiven.
That's why I want to show that part of it too, because VisionQuest premiere date revealed, And the trailer description teases Ultron's return, which I've been waiting for that since What If.
Mm-hmm.
They set up What If so well with Ultron and what he did, and then they just never even mentioned it ever again. And I was like, what happened with Ultron? It was great what they did with him. They made him so much more terrifying than he was in the second Avengers. But the first trailer for Vision Quest premiered at the Disney Upfront. So we have a very exciting description of the footage along with the premiere date for the Plus series. The long-awaited conclusion to the WandaVision trilogy. Vision Quest picks up with the original Vision after being rebuilt by Sword. When we last saw him, he'd been given his memories back by the Hex Vision created by the Scarlet Witch in Westview. Based on the cast list, we expect to see Vision reunite with many of the MCU's AI characters as he attempts to regain his emotions. Tommy Maximoff will also appear after his brother Wiccan found his soul a body to inhabit during the events of Agatha all along. The wrap was on hand and saw brief teasers. So for most of the footage, we see Bettany in his human form, essentially watching Vision's memories like a film. When we last saw him, he was the white Vision that we saw fly off at the end of WandaVision. He's been given his memories back without having lived them. So now he's trying to figure out his humanity once more, noting he has none of the emotions that the first Vision did. There to help him and taunt him is Ultron, once again voiced by James Spader. Strings. But Spader also appeared in human form too. Tommy briefly appears in the footage, and Spader taunts Vision that it's a boy. We've known for a while that many of those AI characters will appear as humans, though the hope is that Vision Quest serves as the android Ultron's official MCU return. Either way, it seems that Tommy will be meeting his father and grandfather. One of the things that's fun about what it is when you finally get to see is what it's inside Vision's mind. It's more cluttered than what you think. He's clearly been saving and copying and pasting to keep them alive inside his head. One of them, of course, has to be kept behind a pretty impressive firewall because he's a psychopath, but Ultron is a clever one. The announced cast, yada, yada, yada. Okay. So, yeah, I like that. I dig that. I like the fact that they're going to go a little deeper with that and how exploring the Ultron connection of it, because I always thought that was one of the most interesting things about the movie was the connection with Voltron and
Yeah.
Voltron with Ultron and Vision
Voltron.
at the end with Voltron, yeah, with Ultron and Vision at the end.
When Paul Bettany was 5 little cats and then he
Yeah,
became one big cat, it was
yes,
pretty cool.
and yes, and now that's going to be just streaming on Amazon, not in the theater. um, anyway, it's I'm excited to see this one for sure, and I don't know. Did you like this description?
Oh yeah, I'm absolutely here for this. There's so many Vision comics that are really cool and interesting, and I feel like Terry Matalas is going to pull from so much material
Yeah.
and do really cool stuff. I saw in the chat already. I know not everyone loved what he did on Picard. I really did. I really, really did.
Okay.
It was one of the few moments where me and Robert Meyer Burnett were on the same page about Star Trek, which I'll take that as a win any day. This is such a really interesting exploration in what it is to be alive, what it is to have a soul, and that's always been such a cool philosophical aspect
Mhm.
of Vision's character is what does it mean to live and what does that all encompass?
Right.
And there's so many again cool comics that you guys can pull from. I know this isn't capes and cows, but I am going to jump in with that stuff.
Yeah,
If
sure.
you guys want to know more about like Vision's journey in the comics, if you read the Burn run from about like issues 44 through about 52, this is kind of the kidnapping of Vision, his disassemblement, his becoming White Vision. It's all West Coast Avengers stuff. It's really, really great. If you need kind of like a pinnacle Ultron comic to read, Ultron Unlimited, which came out in 1998, is a
Okay.
really, really great read. And then there's this really killer comic that I think honestly WandaVision really borrowed from.
Mm,
Everyone always talks about how it's so House of M coded.
okay.
Really, it borrows a lot from Tom King's run of Vision, in which he has this whole android family. And we already
Okay.
know too from other articles and other things about this show that we are going to have Viv, Vision's daughter, as
Mm,
well. So there's a lot of stuff happening here. I just think this is ripe for really cool OG Marvel kind of stuff.
yeah.
WandaVision was such a banger. I just feel like you have people who understand the TV format, like we were just
Mhm.
talking about with
Yep.
Ahsoka. You have really great characters who, in the comics, honestly, like Tony Stark, were kind of relegated for a long time. Of yeah, they're not like an A-lister, but they're on good teams, or
Yeah.
oh, some of their storylines are great, or I like his stuff with Wanda. It's gonna be so exciting to see this character stand on his own 2 feet,
Yes.
and I'm so excited to see the other implications of it, because if WandaVision could explore grief in the way it did, that made us all go, "And this is a comic book show?"
Right.
The
Yeah.
the whole, like, thrust of this show is going to be so interesting, I think.
I hope so. I really do because like this is the most this year is probably the most excited I've been for Marvel in what since 2019. I
Yeah.
mean, yes, there have been movies like I think that because Brand New Day or what was the last one? It was not Brand New Day. It was No Way Home. No Way Home. I was definitely excited for, but I don't know what else came out
Left.
that year. Um, I don't know if the whole thing delivered for that year, but there hasn't
When
been a
did
full year. What's that?
I was trying to think of when Guardians 3 came out. I don't know if that was
I
the
I
same
think it was
year or
I think it was
after.
a year later.
Okay.
There have been movies that I've been looking forward to, but a
Yeah.
full year the way that, they used to be, I
Yeah.
haven't really been as excited, but now I am. With Punisher, they started off with Daredevil. Punisher is pretty good. I think, Spider-Man's gonna be great. I at least have a feeling it's gonna be great. At least
I'm so
I'm hyped
excited.
for it. Vision Quest now, right around the corner, even though the only problem with Vision Quest is that it's taking away a name from, one of my beloved '80s movies that I love that called Vision Quest, the Matthew Modine. Um, it was like the first rare appearance from Madonna before she was a superstar.
Oh,
Um,
dang.
yeah,
Okay.
but it's about have you ever heard of this movie? Vision Quest?
No.
So
No.
he is a high school wrestler, and he's fighting in a lower class. He's taller, but he's fighting in a lower weight class, and then there's this guy, Shoot, and the guy is like a monster fighting this other school. And so Loudon Swain is the main character, Matthew, and he wants to move up to wait to fight Shoot. Like, what? You can't, you crazy. And so it's just him moving up weight to do it, but at the same time, he's got this whole kind of relationship going on with this girl, and it's like yeah, it's a great movie.
Aw,
It's a great
fun.
movie. I
I
love
love
that.
Matthew Modine.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
He's
That's
wonderful.
1984, that movie is. But anyway, it's called Vision Quest. And now, just like that one, there's another movie, another boxing movie that I love called Gladiator. Anytime you say Gladiator now, you think Russell Crowe, right? To
I
which you
haven't
have
seen
never seen. I
either.
know it's crazy. But Gladiator stars James Marshall and Cuba Gooding Jr. and the late great Brian Dennehy.
Oh,
Um,
dang.
yeah, so that one was 93. Um,
Fun. Okay.
Anyway, but I am excited for this Vision Quest that's coming out, and then obviously leading into Doomsday, which I just think is gonna be. Are you getting more excited for that yet or not yet?
I am getting more
Here we
excited.
go. I
I
told
am.
you.
I
What did I tell you?
know.
I told
Well,
you.
and I told you where I was like, part of this is I just don't want to keep talking each week about like the
Yeah,
chairs, the
yeah,
chairs and the mask.
I know,
I'm
but you get
getting more
closer.
excited.
Yeah,
It's just, and now the buildup is happening a little bit more. It's just the movies weren't getting me more excited, right? I didn't watch
yeah,
Fantastic Four and go, whoa, I can't wait to see who that guy is.
right, right. So now, but now it's right around the corner, and I mean, that movie is gonna do. I can't. I'm telling you, it's gonna do so well. It's gonna do so well. I'm
I
curious. We'll
hope it
see.
does. I want to be clear too. I am never rooting for a movie to
No, I
fail or
know.
anything, even when I'm not excited about it.
Yeah.
Sometimes the internet is like, Chris Carr's so negative, and I'm like, I'm not. I'm just trying to be honest.
No, you saw
And
Mike yesterday. I mean, you put you next to Mike. Mike was Mike and
next
Roka
to Mike,
lived
I'm the
here, man.
sunshine baby from the Teletubbies.
I
Like,
know. Well, that's right, and this was Mike yesterday.
Shut up!
It was Mike screaming at the comments.
oh
Um, but Mike did
man,
good. Mike did good yesterday. Anyway, so
that's good.
for you guys out there, what do you think about Vision Quest? You excited about it? Do you want to check it out? Make sure not only you commenting live, make sure you comment on the replay and on the clips channel. Make sure you do that. We're building up there. We put in some interview clips up on there. We have a lot of different things going on. Shorts going on. We're building up. Kevin Smets, if it gets to 100,000 subscribers, that channel on the clips channel, if it gets to 100,000, Kevin Smets is going to get that Inner Geekdom championship belt, but it's got to do it by May 1st of next year. So we'll see if that happens. Right now, it's got like 16 or 17K. So he's got some work to do. All right, Chris, you got 14 so far.
Woof.
Yeah. Again, 132 is what Roka had. Now, look, we're doing it monetarily, not just the numbers. So whoever had the most monetarily is going to win. But again, 14, you got to come back here. You gotta have a big second half, as they say. So we'll
I
see.
hope so.
I have another story that I want to bring up that was not on our
Okay.
docket.
Ooh.
Um, I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna feel that you loved this first movie as much as I did. However, there are not a lot of people that saw this first movie, so you might not have seen it. But I feel like you have, and I feel like you love it. We'll see. Um, okay, so here is the story. Peter Jackson finally begins working on Tintin 2. Did you see Tintin 1?
Yes.
Did you love Tintin 1?
I loved
Yes, I
Tintin
knew
1.
it. I know you so well. Um, and so I loved it as well. I saw it in the theater twice, and I loved it. 15 years. That's crazy. 15 years after the Steven Spielberg directed animated The Adventures of Tintin film hit cinemas, it looks like something's finally happening on the sequel. Peter Jackson is attending the Cannes Film Festival this week and received an honorary Palme d'Or at the festival's opening ceremony last night. He confirmed he's been working on the script for the sequel this week, appearing at a rendezvous session at the festival, discussing his career and upcoming works. He says, I've been working with Fran Walsh on the Tintin script. I was writing it in the hotel room, and it's an active, real thing. I'm getting back into the Tintin world, and I actually love it. Jackson and Spielberg famously made a pact years ago, which would see Spielberg direct and Jackson produce the first film. Then Jackson direct and Spielberg produced the second, with a third being co-directed by the pair. I thought Andy was supposed to do the third. Okay. Anyway, Jackson says he remains very aware of that pact and his obligation. The deal was that Steven directs and I direct another. Steven did his film. Then for 15 years, I haven't made mine. I feel very awkward about that. He also adds that he'd like to make a film about Operation Chastise, aka the Dam Busters raid. He also had to take on AI use in film. I don't dislike it at all. To me, it's just a special effect. The only thing with AI that's critical is that you don't AI an actor or somebody without their approval, just as you can't adapt a book that somebody has written without owning the rights to the book. The 2011 film, which grossed 374 million from a 135 million budget, was based on an amalgamation of 3 Tintin books: The Crab Within Golden Claws, The Secret of the Unicorn, and The Red Rackham's Treasure, though also did its own original spin on that. It's widely assumed a sequel would be based on the 7 Crystal Balls, Prisoners of the Sun two-parter, but Jackson hasn't confirmed which story or stories they are adapting for the work. I love this news so much. First of all, I am actually shocked by the numbers of what it did. I thought it really underperformed.
Mhm.
I thought it like bombed. But it didn't bomb. It looked like it looks like it barely made money. Is
It
what is
it
what it
did
looked.
fine.
Right. But I think that most people who saw it loved it.
It's so fun.
Loved
It's
that first
so
movie.
fun.
Yeah. I
Ah,
loved Tintin. I loved it so much.
that makes me
And
so
I'm so
happy.
glad that I can't believe it was 15 years ago. That's crazy,
Yeah.
by the way. Um, but the fact that it's coming back, it makes me nervous though, because if people didn't go and see a Tintin film 15 years ago, are they going to see one now in like 20 when this movie comes out in like 2028?
Mm,
Can you do it? And Peter Jackson is notoriously known for spending too much money.
yeah,
So what do
he
you think?
is. Well, we have seen in the last few years that, family-friendly fare really has dominated at the box office. And that's even when things haven't been great.
Right.
As long as a kid can yell about like chickens and Roblox, it's going to be
Mhm.
fine.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that Tintin, because it also is a quality film, really could do well because all of us who did see it before will go see this again. And then
Mhm.
hopefully more people will come out to the theater. It's such a fun, great story. I was able to get my dad to watch this because I was like, I don't know, you love World War II stuff.
Right.
Come see this. It's so charming and delightful and fun and well executed. I really think there's potential here.
I sure hope so. I sure
Mhm.
hope so. I would love to see it happen. I would love to see what they're gonna do with this movie. I'll be there. I mean,
Absolutely.
100%, and I hope that they can market it where audiences will care, but how do you guys feel about it? Are you excited about Tintin? Did you see the first one? And does this make you wanna watch the first one? So put your thoughts in there. Let us know. More news that just popped. This was news that similar to, well, it didn't do that great, but the last one people liked. But it's interesting news nonetheless. and that is that 28 years later, three speculation rises after the post. Young British actor Alfie Williams, who played young survivor Spike in the first two 28 years later films, has reignited talk of the trilogy capper. So, in a new Instagram post, the actor is seen somewhat indoors holding a bow and arrow and shooting distance targets. He captures the post, "It's great to be back." Postings immediately led to speculation that he suggested that production on a third film is gearing up in some way. Others suggest he's simply doing archery as a hobby. Confusion is still swirling as to whether Sony will produce with Danny Boyle and Alex Garland's proposed final chapter. Sony did indicate earlier this year that they are moving forward with a third film, but that was before 28 years later the Bone Temple opened, those scoring critical acclaim and high audience scores across the board. The release of that second film so soon after the more divisive first one seemed to lead to audiences skipping the film. Streaming didn't help either, with the film reportedly having a weak debut on Netflix. Ultimately, the studio is rumored to have lost around 20 million on the feature, so hesitation on their part to proceed with another makes sense. On the flip side, the return of Cillian Murphy in a major capacity, combined with the angle of being able to sell it as a final entry, could offer the chance of a more lucrative final installment. Did you you've probably you've never seen these movies, right?
I only saw the first one with Cillian Murphy
Oh,
and
you didn't.
went, "Dear
Okay, so
sweet baby Jesus, this is
right.
horrifying."
None of so you out of the four made, you've only seen the first one.
Yeah.
Okay. So I really I liked both of them. I liked both the last two. I liked them a lot. I actually thought it was Nia DaCosta's best movie that I've
Oh,
seen her
dang,
do.
okay.
Um and there was one movie of hers that I missed. I don't remember what it was that Snyder told me that I needed to see, but I actually I liked this last movie, but nobody saw it. And the fact I didn't know that it didn't do well on streaming either. Um that's not great, but if you're making these movies and you go, yeah, look, we got Murphy coming back, Danny Boyle to do the last one. Maybe we just wrap this thing up, cross our fingers, and see what we can do. But the problem is when it's probably going to be beefed up a little bit because you're bringing Murphy back. It's probably going to it, it just I want to see where it goes. I'm invested now in it. And I feel like I'm watching a television show, and I'm like, okay, now I want to see how this thing all wraps up, or especially where they wrapped around and took us with this whole thing and where they're leading to for the major events that happened in the last one. And it's like, well, how does it all tie up? I want to see how it ties up, but I also understand the studio going, oh, we can't tie it up because and it's almost like I feel my Daredevil reviews, right? Like it's like where I did them and I really enjoyed watching the show. And I had somebody say to me, it's like, well, what do you mean you're not gonna finish it up? How can you not finish it up? That's not right. It's not genuine. And I'm like, are you paying the fucking editors? I can watch it and talk about it. It's still
Yeah.
genuine. But then I thought about it, it's like, you know what? I want to finish it up and I want to check it out. So I'll take the hit on it with the editors because I want to finish it. And I was planning on doing it anyway. Mr. Critical Magoo came in and started saying, I know things. It's like, good for you. Stop sending people fucking DMs. Go do something else with your life. Um, but I'm planning on doing that anyway, and I plan on doing it anyway, but I know I'm gonna take the hit on it,
Mhm.
but I wanna wrap it up. I got close enough to where I was, like, there, and so I feel like it's very different from paying an editor when I pay him the reaction to do a $20 million film or $40 million film, whatever it is, but, you get my point.
Yeah, it's a comparison on a different scale.
Yeah,
Sure, certainly. But yeah, it does give you perspective on I understand why studios do stuff sometimes
right,
because it's so easy and obviously as an actor I'm usually leaning towards but the story, but that
right.
character arc, why didn't we get to see that come to fruition or to its conclusion? Because money.
Yeah,
Because at the end of the
I
day,
know.
this still is a business. It's the
It
entertainment
sucks. I know it
business.
sucks. It's just like,
It's a
and you want
bummer.
I mean, I hope that they do it. I hope that they finish it because I really would like to see how they wrap this thing up. I really do.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think? Do you think this is gonna be, this is gonna happen, or there's no chance that it happens? Do you wanna see it happen? Put your thoughts in there. Please let us know. Um, let's see. Trying to think, is there anything else really that's worth talking about? I don't think so. I think
Okay.
we'll do this. I think we'll do the same thing that we did last 2 days. Yeah, I mean, we did that with Roka and we did it with Mike. It's like we hit all the stuff that we needed to. Oh, there's this Odyssey story. Let's talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about the Odyssey. Hold on. Bring that up. Give me a moment. And here it is. Okay. So, the Odyssey, Christopher Nolan is talking historical inaccuracy claims, and Lupita Nyong'o's two roles have been revealed. All right. Nolan has responded to claims of historical inaccuracy and opens up on casting Travis Knight. Travis Knight. Oh, Travis
Yeah.
Knight. Right. Yeah. Um, we also have details on Lupita Nyong'o's dual roles and the Cyclops. So the new look at the Odyssey has been revealed, revealing Spider-Man's brand new day Zendaya as Athena. We also have confirmation that Lupita Nyong'o will play Helena Troy and her sister, Clytemnestra. Helen is the wife of John Bernthal's Menelaus. How is that? You know who that is?
Menelaus.
Menelaus, thank you. And is described as the most beautiful woman in the world. She's also blamed for starting the war at the heart of the story. As for her sister, she's married to Menelaus' brother Agamemnon, albeit unhappily. It's also been confirmed that Bill Irwin, who voiced and puppeteered the robot in Interstellar, was hired to guide the performance of the mythical Cyclops. Many are expecting Nolan to do for Odyssey what he did for Batman in the Dark Knight trilogy, and it sounds like the filmmaker is indeed taking some big swings. For starters, he instructed composer Ludwig Göransson not to use an orchestra in the score, which is what you'd typically expect from a swords and sandals film. Nolan has also cast rapper Travis Scott as a bard, a decision that surprised many and raised more than a few eyebrows. I cast him because I wanted to nod towards the idea that this story has been handed down as oral poetry, which is now goes to rap, Nolan told Time, suggesting we could see some surprisingly modern elements in this tale. That makes me nervous. That makes me nervous. He is, however, looking to stay true to the time the Odyssey is set. The oldest depictions of Homeric characters tend to be depicted in the manner of people living in Homer's time. So there's pretty strong cases for portraying things that way, because the way the first audience received the story. I haven't eaten. Sorry. For Interstellar, you're looking at what is the best speculation of the future. When you're looking at the ancient past, it's actually the same thing. What is the best speculation? How can I use that to create a world? Hopefully they enjoyed the film, even if they don't agree with everything. We've had a lot of scientists complain about Interstellar, but you don't want people to think that you took it frivolously. Pushed on the claims of historical inaccuracy, specifically relating to the armor we've seen in the trailers. Nolan said, there are daggers that are black and bronze. The theory is that they probably could have been black and bronze in those days. You take bronze, you add more gold and silver, and then you use sulfur. With Agamemnon, Ellen, our costume designer, is trying to communicate how elevated he is relative to everyone else. You do that through materials that would be very expensive. He added, I think when I signed up to do Troy way back when, did he really did he do Troy?
I
And
had to
then,
check that too. I was like, wait, what?
and then he bailed on Troy? I didn't realize that. Was he because I didn't. Wow, I was in over my head. The Odyssey is a sweeping story. I think I needed to build on what I learned doing large scale films to be able to make this film. Here, I don't love all the answers.
Okay.
I don't love all the answers. I don't love all the choices. But you know what I do love? Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
You know who I do trust? Christopher Nolan.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna go into this movie saying the guy's never let me down. Even with Tenet, which I watched recently, it's fine. But he's still Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
So let's see what he does. I think he's earned it. There's a lot of different choices that I was like, I don't know, not sure. But I haven't seen the movie. I got to see the movie. And look, we're also dealing with, when it comes to historical accuracies, there's a lot of, there's no Cyclops.
That's what I was going to say. It's
Yeah.
an epic poem
Right.
filled with vengeful gods and
Right.
mythical creatures. Calm the fuck down, everybody.
You can maneuver a little bit, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. Now, if it was a lesser experienced director that I never heard of before that's coming and making all these changes and doing things, I'm like, why? What are you making changes for? Just go and do your own thing first, and just like I don't know what they did with Troy is fine, but it was like, hey, he's gonna make a move. He's gonna try to do something different. Let's see. And maybe it turns out it wasn't good. I mean, he's a human being.
I would rather have somebody make big choices and take big swings
Yeah.
than have me watch something and go, it's fine.
Right.
I genuinely do enjoy more of a polarizing experience of you love it or you hate it, or this works for you or it doesn't, because it means you actually did something, right? You
Yeah.
actually gave yourself stakes and you gave yourself the opportunity to fail. Now, could Travis Knight
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like when your English teacher goes, "Hey kids, let me turn my baseball hat around and go, have you ever heard Shakespeare spit?" Could be, but also it's Travis Knight, so I don't feel like that's what's going to happen. You know,
I
same thing
hate
with a
that
whole
he's in
bunch of
this
like the
movie.
Oh, really?
I hate that he's in this movie. I hate it when he came into WWE, and I hate that he's in this. I hate that he's in this movie. I
That's
I I
fair.
I hate that he's in this movie.
Who would you want instead?
Anybody? Um, I I want to see. Look, I've been proven wrong before, where I'm like, there's difference between wrestling and then acting, and you come in like maybe it's a good performance. Same thing. What am I thinking of? What? Hold on, Travis. Isn't it
Do
Travis
I keep
Scott?
saying Travis Knight or is it Travis Scott?
Yeah, that's why I was so confused because we're
I was like, I
correct.
must have got his name wrong if the
We're
article
correct
says
in who
it.
we're talking about. We're talking about Travis Scott. In that article,
Okay.
it said Travis Knight, and I was so confused. Like Travis Knight, the director of He-Man, they cast Travis Knight in Odyssey. I was like, okay, great. But no, Travis Scott is who. That's who was cast.
I
And
so assumed that I was wrong because it was published that I was like,
it's
I must
Travis
have
Scott.
gotten his name
Am I
wrong.
am I
Okay.
wrong? Isn't it Travis Scott that got cast in this thing?
I'm going to double check.
Yeah, because Travis Knight, when he wrote Travis Knight, it was like that's the director of the guy probably just had He-Man on his brain. But anyway,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
Travis Scott. Okay. Yeah.
Travis
Yeah.
Scott. Right. Okay. Yeah.
I
We
fully
were
Ron Burgundy and was like, I have to be wrong. I'm going to read what's on the prompter.
that's exactly I did it too. When I read the article, it was Travis Knight. I was like, what the hell are they talking about? Who wrote that? Now I'm gonna put someone on blast. Unless it's let's see, who is it? I like Josh Wilding, but Josh, come on. Come on. Travis Knight. Either way, he's probably has Master of the Universe on his brain. But anyway, I was really I'm looking forward to the movie itself, but I don't necessarily love that he's in it. That's it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about Lupita Nyong'o. I mean, I just think she's one of the most talented actresses. Obviously, too, she's one of the most beautiful human beings. So her
Yeah.
being Helen of Troy and having that dual role too is so cool and so
Great
fun.
actress.
I'm interested to see how that's different.
Yeah, she's
Um,
great. She's a really good actress.
yeah.
So look, let's see. The movie's coming out in July. Let's see what happens. So, what do you think about Nolan's choices? What do you think about the movie? Still excited to see it? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know. All right, the time has come. We're going to start with 25. We got to get to now. Look, Roke had 131 or whatever it was, 131, 132, whatever. But there's an absolute shot that Chris Carr could just get some big donations here and still win the week. That's the beauty of the new rules. So we'll see. Bobby, Kristian, can you do an impersonation of Dumbledore and Saw Gerrera discussing the Borg Gullet? Have you been down by the Borg Gullet? It is going to be here. There are many things where the Borg Gullet could be eating chicken cutlets. That's all I got. All right. Thank you. And now we get to our good buddy, who is Ray.
Ray who?
Ray Dominguez.
Yes.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Ray. I just put some support. Maddie B, support. Chris, you're looking fabulous as always. You too,
Thank
Christian.
you.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Conrad, I can't put my finger on it. Chris, you look really good today, says Conrad.
Oh, thank you.
Right?
I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
Follows it up. Oh, Chris, do you know what I'm going to ask? One Piece continuation.
Oh, I haven't watched any more of the anime. Okay. So, guys, right now I am on 2 video games and I just started a play.
Mhm.
And so my TV viewership is not what it is. I also just started Black Clover. And wrapped up Paradise and I'm switching back to Hijack. So I need to go back to One Piece, but it's always going to be there. I know
Yeah.
I'm so far behind,
I
but
know,
it's one of
true.
those of I don't need to rush it because I don't know if I'll ever complete it in my lifetime anyway, but I'll get there. I will. I promise.
This is Yoshimitsu 5537. We just rewatched Mando seasons 1 through 3 and Boba Fett. Rosario is great as older Ahsoka. I want that kind of writing and performance in Ahsoka season 2. For the Boba Fett one. Yeah, I mean the scene between her and Luke was pretty great. in Mando. I can't really call it Boba Fett. Mando 2.5, I guess you call it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yoshimitsu follows it up. Daphne Keane would be my pick for rebooted Leia. At what I don't know if she's old enough though for the time that depends. Oh, I guess it just depends on what timeline. Yeah, she might be. She might be. She's really good. Like she's
She's
really good. But
incredible.
I still think there's a shot that Millie Bobby Brown has become, as I said, more celebrity than actress in my opinion. Um, but she's still got the goods. If she switches that around and turns that into, hey, I'm gonna actually try to start acting again. I think then that could work.
Yeah.
Let's see. My choice. Chris, your dogs are adorable on your Insta story.
Oh, thank you.
There you go.
Feeding them cheese while they're being crazy boys.
Johnny Patriza. I'm looking forward to Born Again season 3. Are they gonna? I wonder if they're gonna do it. Are they gonna make it?
Yeah.
Do you think so?
I'm
Even
pretty
even
sure
if
I thought it was already greenlit too.
I
Give me one moment.
I thought so too, but I just think that the again same conversation we had. The ratings weren't that good. I don't know. Um, Go pal. Christian's Ultron is trending. Optimus Prime. Yeah, Optimus Prime is a bit lower. Autobots roll out. That's a little lower, and then uh, Ultron is a little bit more of the strings. It's similar for sure, but you got to like try to. That's all I can say is him too.
Spader's
Uh,
got like a smarminess and a
yeah,
tinniness in his voice almost too.
yeah. Okay. Spader is now his Blacklist 2013-23 character in my head. So rewatching 2 Days in the Valley was really jarring seeing him 20 years later. I mean, you should see what's that movie he did with Downey Jr. back in the 80s? Oh man.
Oh.
Yeah, old school. Yeah, I've been following him forever. He's great. He's real good. Okay. 26 so far. Yoshimitsu, Vision Quest sounds like it will continue a lot of the best character exploration themes from the fantastic Agatha show. I can't wait to see it. I hope
Yeah.
so. That's what Chris was saying. I completely agree. Okay. And now we got Ray Dominguez.
Ray who?
Question: does Vision Quest need to have the kids, Tommy or the other kid? I forget his name. I mean, I think they set it up because it's continuation out of Agatha, so I guess you kind of got to follow that story.
Yeah. Well, and Tommy's looking for Billy as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, I think so. So yeah, Less Than Zero was the name of that movie. Thank you, Maddie B with a big one. That puts
Dang.
you on the board, Chris Carr. That puts you
Thank
on
you,
the
Maddie.
board. Put you on the board. Oh my God. I've never seen anyone else who loves Gladiator 1992. I love that movie. Such an underrated boxing film. I can't even tell you how many times I've seen that movie. One of my all-time faves. Great performances from Marshall Cuba and Dennehy as the villain. An amazing soundtrack too. So let me ask you a question, Maddie B. I'm gonna give you a little bit of trivia. Do you know who plays the girlfriend in that and what recent show that she's been on? Okay, I'm gonna give you the answer. If you said Mrs. Wheeler from the Stranger Things, you're correct. Yeah, she's the lead.
Whoa.
She's the lead love interest.
Oh,
So
that's
what I
great.
always knew her from because I watched that movie so many different times. I love Gladiators. Great. You know his line. He's like, yeah, Brian Denny. He turns to Robert Loggia. I think it's Robert Loggia. I can't remember who he says it to, but he says, "You know why people love the fights? It's the presence of death." That's what he says.
Whoa.
And then he goes and he's fighting. He goes, puts his head down. Guy hits him in the head. He goes, top of the head, hardest part of the body. Such a great movie. Yoshimitsu, hell yes, we need the next Tintin. I love the first.
Yes.
I sure hope so. Gopal, if Jackson makes Tintin a number 2, it'll be 17 years. I know.
Yeah.
I know. It's true. Maddie B gifted 50 memberships. Maddie B
Whoa.
crushing today. Look at Maddie B. 15. Oh, yeah. And I got to get to PLD and tell them when we're going to do that membership stream. A lot of unedited stuff coming out. Got the House of the Dragon stuff. Is that still owned? Speaking of, yeah, it sure is. Armada, Aegon Conquest as trilogy or a 3-hour epic? Oh, they're doing a movie. They're doing a movie. The Aegon, yeah.
Oh, for Game of Thrones?
Yeah. It's a full, that's a full movie that's coming out. That's not,
Dang.
yeah. Oh, that's what he's asking. He's saying, do you want it to be 3
Oh.
hours long or a trilogy? One movie, make it like 2 hours and like 35 minutes. Yeah, one movie. That's all.
I like
That's all
that.
you need. That's all you need. Eric Slaby, I really enjoyed the first Tintin film. Was disappointed when there's been no sequel or news. I'm pretty excited for a second one. Hopefully, it's good. Yeah, me too.
I
Same.
looked like a lunatic. I would just yell about anything Spielberg was doing. I was like, "Why aren't you doing Tintin 2? Who gives a shit about West Side Story?" Which,
So
of
funny.
course, egg on my face. But you know, I'm very excited about this.
Yeah, and people for Andy. It's when Andy Serkis was crushing at that point. I think that that's right when the first Apes had come out. Also, because I think the first Tintin was 2011, wasn't it? You said 15 years, so it makes
I'm
sense.
pretty sure.
Um, but yeah, I'd love to see. I mean, Andy's got to come back as the captain, right? Got to come back. Andy was so good in that movie.
So good.
Yeah. Gopal, my sister gave me a Tintin book in French about him going to Africa with all the racist colonialism highlighted. They drew the Africans like blackface tropes, etc. That's all I know of Tintin.
So unfortunately, Tintin is very much a product of its time too.
Ages,
It
right?
first came out in 1929. And
Okay.
then I think the last publication, official publication, was around 1975. The creator died
Mm.
in early 1980s. And that is a very unfortunate and horrible thing that is in those
Yeah.
books. I absolutely agree with that. And clearly, these movies are not doing that.
No, not Peter Jackson. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll change things up for sure. Dark Smirk, Devil Dinosaur in Marvel Rivals, Chris. Looks fun.
Really? Oh, okay. I haven't played in a minute, and I
There you
need
go.
to because I know some people who just got cast. So I need to get back in the game.
Bojack. What's up, Bobby? It almost seems like Filoni has no issue with dark themes and pushing the envelopes of tone when it comes to Star Wars animated, but holds back in live action, minus Mandalorian season 1 and 2. Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. I think because there's something about it's a little more. It doesn't come off as dark in the way that like Andor does, right? Because it's
Yeah.
live action. I wish he would take that swing. I really wish. I hope he takes the swing, and I hope he realizes that you can't handcuff people to the old philosophies. You just got to try to move forward. But
Mhm.
I'm so to me the all right. So the things that are really going to be the test, as I've mentioned many times over, Starfighter is like this. Mandalorian Grogu is the first thing that comes out, right? So that comes out. I'm going to see it tomorrow, actually. So I go to see that movie. That movie, there's two things that really need to happen. One, it needs to capture the tone of seasons 1 and season 2. That's what it needs to do. Two, it needs to, if it wants to, what Disney would equate it to a hit, if it can make 600 million, which is a stretch, but if it can make 600, that's a win. That's a win for them if they can do that. And having a big opening weekend. That's enough. Put it out of the way, right? For 160 million. So then after that, and then depending on that success, you might see season 4. If there is success, then you might see season 4. If it doesn't do well and it underperforms, then you won't ever see Mandalorian probably ever again. But then Starfighter is the big, huge test. That's the one where Disney's eyes are going to be locked into it. That's the one that's either going to prove that this brand still got some moxie left or nothing at all, because it's going to cost over $200 million. It's going to cost all this, it's got big movie stars in it. It's going to basically be set. The first movie set after the new trilogy. It's got to deliver, and you're going to introduce new characters. It's got to deliver. If it doesn't deliver, heads are probably going to roll even faster, and they might even, if it really bombs, I wouldn't be surprised if Disney thought about selling Star Wars, if it bombs. But I don't think any of that is likely. I think the movie is going to do very well. If it does do well and it does deliver, the thing that's exciting to me is, what are they going to announce next? Like, what's the movie that they're in? Is it going to be the Kinberg thing? Is it going to be Ahsoka again? Is it going to be something else? Like, what's it going to be? Do you agree with that assessment?
Yeah, I do think just because they've invested so much in the parks, there still would be some licensing stuff with Star Wars, because they've just made big swings on Disney having that be like, you come to Disney and you are immersed in Star Wars.
Yeah.
But yeah, it has to deliver, because they haven't been, and I feel like this is a make or break point.
I think so, and they really need
Yeah.
to check it out. So we shall see. All right, 36 so far for Chris Carr. Donkey Bong, the Batman with Sam soon. Yes, we already shot it. We recorded. I haven't said enough to the editors yet because we're waiting for all the House of the Dragon stuff to air first, but that'll probably be the first one that airs after House of the Dragon, but we already shot it. Mad Tunisian. Christopher Nolan is Batman. I mean, he certainly brought the life back to it. Johnny Patriza, fan casting Pascal as Eddie Guerrero. Thoughts? That would be pretty.
Oh,
It's
that's
a little,
fun.
a little too old to play Eddie, though.
Yeah,
A little
that's
too old.
true.
He's like 51 or whatever he is.
Mhm.
Like, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, Eddie. I mean, Game of Thrones Pedro would have been great as Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah.
But he's a little too old to play Eddie Guerrero now. If they're going to do it, they should definitely do a documentary or a biopic
Oh,
on
biopic, yeah.
Yeah. Wiley, what's up, man? Been binging Malcolm in the Middle for the first time. It's super adult. It's funny and a great soundtrack. Crazy Frankie Muniz was a big star. He was only in 3 movies at the time. Wish he was in more. Yeah. Did you watch the new special? I didn't watch that either.
No, I never watched any Malcolm in the Middle.
Okay. I had seen when growing. When it was on the first run, I had seen. It's like one of those shows that anytime I tuned into it, I always enjoyed it. Just never went out of my way to watch it. But Luke said he watched it. He said it was
Yeah.
good. He said it was fun. Go pal. I think Spader is also in Sex Lies and Videotape. Yeah, he is.
Yes.
Definitely is. That's Soderbergh. Bobby, Marvel definitely feels like they're on a roll, even though not smash hits. People enjoyed Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four. I mean, the quality of their stuff has been on the up and up for sure. I agree with you. But yeah, monetarily they need to get back to getting some wins. Wonder Man was a surprise hit and getting a season 2. That's right. And hopefully not 4 years from now. That's Wonder Man shocked a lot of people, not only with the quality of it, but with it did well in the ratings. I remember talking to Luke about it, going, is this gonna be another one of those like it's here today, gone tomorrow? Like Ironheart. Ironheart was here today, gone tomorrow. This show was good. It was good. So there was only one episode that I didn't like that everybody else liked. I really loved that episode. I don't understand what the hell's wrong with everybody. Hated that stupid. Was it Doorman? What was his name?
Doorman, yeah. I loved it.
Hated it. Hated it. That's the one take that when people ask, like, what's a take that you have that is so everybody loved Doorman. I hated Doorman. I was like, let's wrap it up. Like, we can do this in 5 minutes. We're spending a whole episode on this. Eric Henderson and a shot. I say that every time. Chris, if one of these classic animes were adapted to live action, what would you choose? Space Battle Yamato or Vampire Hunter? Hold on, let me hear what I just heard.
All right, Mr. I, you were going to take my anime nerd card on this because I have not watched either of these series. I'm very aware of them, but I have not watched them. Because Vampire Hunter, I think, came out in the 70s and Battle Yamato in the 80s, and I should watch them. Space Battle Yamato, I would wonder how you would make it different from other space exploration movies. Whereas Vampire Hunter D, it's like vampire Western Gothic bounty hunter stuff. Which is cool and kind of Blade adjacent. So I'd maybe lean towards that. But Space Battle Yamato is like a very important anime that kind of ushered in a lot of what we know of modern day anime. So it would just be kind of down to the execution. I would lean towards Vampire Hunter D right now. And I say that as somebody who only knows the concepts, not seen them.
It's like you're in my mind saying the same things I would have. Mike Joyce, favorite James Spader movie? Mine's Crash. I don't even, let's see, I'm trying to think if I go through his, let's see, James Spader. I have to go through it. I think was his favorite, my favorite. There's one I definitely know that I'm not thinking of. I mean, he's just one of the best. He's so good. Let's see, I'm trying to think of some of the ones that Sex Lies and Videotape, probably. He was in Lincoln, huh? I didn't know he was in Lincoln. I'm gonna go back into the 80s though. Let me go back into the 80s because that one Lesson Zero for sure. I remember Stargate. Stargate is a good one too.
Oh, that's a great one. Secretary was crazy.
Oh, Secretary was crazy. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of his early 80s stuff is great.
Yeah, the Stargate. Go pal. It'll be 17 years long. Oh, okay. Because of Jackson. Oh, I see.
It's gonna have 5 endings.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. Philly with some support. Thank you, Philly.
Yay.
39 so far. Nathan Drake. So why did Sam hate the Batman? Oh, he's trying to get some. I said that she had a very different reaction than people are going to be expecting. That's all I said. Yoshimitsu. Daphne Keane is older than Carrie was in Star Wars. She has the guts, grit, and acting skill needed for Leia. Shoot first, ask questions later, Organa. I mean,
You're
yeah, I
not
mean, look,
wrong.
I wouldn't be opposed to it. She's great. Um, I wouldn't be opposed to it, but it's just I just don't think it's gonna happen. Nathan Drake, what are the chances in your out of the theater for Mando? You say it's a great episode of Disney Plus show. It's a good chance that I say that because I'm going into and the trailers have looked like that. The trailers have looked like it looks like a highly produced episode of a Disney Plus show. I mean, that's even when he was walking into the stuff with the Empire. It doesn't seem cinematic to me yet, but then again, haven't watched it on the big screen yet. It's got to feel cinematic and not just like it's transferred over, like, because the beginning of Ahsoka, it looks like a television show. Like, I want it to feel like a movie. Maddie B, is Smets okay? He's out for a second Wednesday in a row. Hobo's well, yeah, he's working. Yeah, he's doing good. He was sick, but he was working. And then he's out of town because I asked him yesterday. I was like, "You coming in?" He's like, "No, I'm still out of town." I was like, "Damn it!" So but luckily enough, Chris was available. So there you go. Johnny Patriza with Studios' remake of One Piece called The One Piece. We'll cover the first 61 episodes of the originals in 7 episodes. Starts in February on Netflix. Chris is gonna be busy.
We'll be watching a lot of anime.
That's right. Yoshimitsu. I wasn't excited for Starfighter until I saw Project Hail Mary last month. Now I'm excited. I think that's a great point, even though it's not the same director, obviously. But Ryan Gosling is like this is the conversation I've had, and I'm curious what you think about this, Chris. I've had this many times over the course of the last probably 8 years. The movie star is very different today than the movie star was in like the 80s, where if you used an example like Tom Cruise, Will Smith, Julia Roberts, like you'd go to those, you didn't even know what movies they really were in. You just went because they were in it.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen anymore. It usually now happens. It's mostly based on IP and other stuff or directors. Directors can get Christopher Nolan's got a movie coming out. Tarantino's got a movie coming out. Now, that being said, it doesn't mean that star power doesn't still exist. Star power helps IP. If you put Ryan Gosling is going to be in the new Star Wars movie, Ryan Gosling and Margot Robbie are Barbie and Ken. That elevates. Ryan Gosling is going to be in Fall Guy. IP is not strong enough. Doesn't matter how good he was. And Emily Blunt,
which is a shame.
Another star. It's a good movie. It's just nobody cared enough about the IP. So if you care about the IP, and Ryan Gosling's in Star Wars, especially after coming off of Project Hail Mary, then yeah, I think that could help.
For sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, and I think to a degree, it's probably a little more interesting for actors these days of, I've been in all kinds of different movies. Whereas, I think we have a lot of those 80s or 90s stars where and this is their genre. Yeah. And this is what they do. And then every now and then they surprise us, right? When we saw Julia Roberts be in, Aaron Brockovich.
Yes.
Or things like that, where it's, whoa, I had no idea that she could do this. That's amazing. And nowadays we kind of expect dynamicism.
Yeah.
And that's just part of the job.
Yeah.
And that totally makes sense. But I think, we now go for more of genre, IP, director. And I really hope people give other movies outside of that a chance. Just quick tangent. I saw The Sheep Detectives this weekend.
I know. Everyone says it's so good. I missed the freaking screening. I'm so bummed that I missed that screening.
It's so good. I hope more people see this movie. I think it's insane that my favorite movies of the year are about a dude talking to a rock and sheep solving crime. Like, what is 2026?
I'm so bummed. That one I'll do a reaction to when it comes out because I really want to see that movie.
I think you'll like it a lot.
The Lil Yankee, whatever happens with the Mando movie and Starfighter, do you think Grogu? Do you two think Grogu stays regardless? Well, I think that's really where the conversation comes with like the reboot stuff, right? Because something's got to they got to explain, where does he go? Does he die? Does he is he in Luke's academy? Does he get killed in Luke's academy? Does he run off to another part of the universe? Where is he by the time of the new trilogy? Nowhere to be found. So I wonder if this is one of the things, like, if you ask me straight up, because this is where it always gets tricky. People get afraid to say like the real answer because they don't want to come off like, oh, well, you're part of the hate crew or whatever too. Yeah. If someone asked me if would you want to reboot and would you want them to change the timelines and basically take those movies out of canon? My answer would be yes. I would like them to do that. I'm not going to start ripping on the actors and going after them personally and stuff. They did jobs. The movies just didn't wind up to be as good as I think that they could have been, and I think it messed up things more so than anything else. That is so. I do think that you could explain so much. I don't think it's going to happen. By the way, I still don't think it's going to happen. But I think it's okay to say that if you think that it could make sense timeline wise, it's okay to say, yeah, I think that would make sense. But you can't. Otherwise, like, oh, you're part. Why don't you make a thumbnail and put a red X on someone's face now? It's like, I think we did that actually for this trailer. For this thumbnail. It's hilarious. Anyway, what did I ask you? Would you want if they were going to reboot it and they were going to take the timeline out? What would you say to make more sense to make the stories?
I'm of two thoughts here where I'm like, yeah, let's see what happens. But also sometimes I have an issue with, can you just stick with what you made?
I know.
Can you just stand by your art and whether or not people liked it, too bad, and just try to figure a way to make it better? But again, I don't know the lore as much, so part of me right now is only basing this on the TV and movies. Yeah,
totally. All right, let's see. 55. See, Chris, you're fighting back. We're 55.
Doing all right. Maddie's keeping me afloat.
It's true. Jared L. T 78. R.I.P. to Donald Gibb. It's like nerds. Thank you for bringing that up. Donald Gibb from, of course, Bloodsport, Revenge of the Nerds. Oh man, look him up real quick. I'm sure he'll look familiar to you if you see him. But he real big 80s. Again, Revenge of the Nerds and Bloodsport are the two movies I remember him mostly from. Yeah,
okay.
Donald Gibb was the man. So yeah, thank you for bringing that up, Jared. R.I.P. For sure. Comic Lover 90. No Smets, Kristian. Let him know he's missed. I will. Of course, that is not to diminish the great Chris Carr. I'll go back and sit in my corner now. Thank you. You don't have to sit in your corner. Yeah, Kevin. I think he'll be back next week. Kevin's been. The team right now is the strongest team that I think that I've had. To be honest with you, both the people that are on camera, the behind the scenes stuff too, and like the one thing I was always missing was kind of like the overall short game. And we've been posting a lot of shorts, a lot of old interviews, a lot of other things, and Kevin's really been instrumental in that as well. Plus, he adds that flair to the games and stuff. That we'll be back next Wednesday for sure. And then I think Chris brought up something on Friday of last week that I think we're really going to explore, and that is the deep dive stuff. I think we're going to go more into. You guys really love the idea of the characters. Holy shit! So we're definitely not going to be doing that, but we'll be doing the deep dive stuff. We just got to figure out when to place that in. So we're working on it right now. I'll keep you guys informed. Okay. Johnny Patrice, space battleship Yamato is literally a sunken World War II battleship in space. Can't get much more different than that. That's pretty cool.
It is very cool.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, how do you make that feel interesting and different than other space epics that have happened, other sci-fi kind of things that are happening? How do you make this feel intrinsically like its own thing?
That's fair. Jared started watching Netflix series Devil May Cry season 2. Awesome so far. What's that?
So Devil May Cry is a video game that Netflix has adapted into a kind of anime. I didn't know season 2 had dropped. I'm very excited. I'm gonna have to figure out when. I don't need to sleep. I can watch TV. It's fine. It's really fun. It's really cool. I think you'd like it a lot.
Okay. Let's see. Next one after that. The Little Yankee. Also, does Frank mention One Last Kill events in Brand New Day? I don't think so. Did you see it yet, Chris?
Mm-mm.
Okay, because I don't think that's what the intention was. I think the intention was to get him back as the Punisher. I think like the stuff in his past is the stuff in his past. I don't think it has any relevance to Brand New Day at all. Personally. Michael D, who says support also.
Futak? How many? You?
That's all. Thank you. Then we follow up. James Wheeler, can I get a
Futak? How many? You?
Please. It is addicting. Okay. Fiona George, I hope that the Tintin sequel happens The first one was a lot of fun and something that families can go see, and it'd be cool to see more of those adventure type movies again. I couldn't agree more. And I want to see Peter Jackson direct this one. Yeah.
I'm hyped.
Yeah, I mean, I really am looking forward to that. I hope that it's not one of those things where he's like, "Yeah, I'm working on the script," and then the script just doesn't happen. Kenneth Colton, It Can't Rain All the Time. Today marks the 32nd anniversary of The Crow. That's crazy. That's 32 years. Oh, I love that movie. I don't want to hear any more about The Crow. Stop talking about The Crow.
Cat Williams is in it?
No, this is St. Petersburg, my teacher. No more Crow. B. Dane Svar 6 would love Grandmaster Luke and Old Republic fun. Me too. I think you'd get a better shot with Filoni of getting more Luke in that era, whether it's animated or popping back up in a deep fake or whatever it might be in that timeline, than you will Old Republic, unfortunately. Trey Porter, watch War of the Roses for the first time. Great movie. Kathleen Turner, though, my God, what a woman. Yeah, she was great. Totally.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
The remake is fun too.
Yeah, that's the one with Benedict Cumberbatch, right?
Yeah.
Is it good?
I liked it. I had a fun time with it.
Okay. And is Andy Samberg in that too?
He is, yeah. He's in
Okay.
it. Kate McKinnon, Olivia Colman.
Okay. All right, let's see. Stellar Space 464. Damn, love Chris, of course. But where's Smets? Was he a special thing? Is that done? Missing games? No, he's back. He's in the guy. These guy is a full-time editor too. He's got a gig that he's doing, so he'll be back hopefully Wednesday. But he'll be happy to know that that you guys are missing him. Yeah, he'll be happy to know that you guys are missing him. Yoshimitsu, I hope you react to hey detectives with Ming. I actually, you know what? We probably should. It's probably a great call. That's pretty great. I'm gonna actually. He's been working hard. He's got his video. He was working on his first video. He cut it yesterday. He showed it to me. He's doing his first video is going to be the intro video to his channel, and then his actual first video is going to be leg day, which will be interesting. It's pretty. He's going through all his like routines and his exercises and his mantra, but that's a good one. All right. Let's see. Next one here. Michael D. Doing a double movie Friday with detectives and obsession. Perfect date night.
Whoa, very different genres.
I'm actually going to see. What am I going to see? Shit, I got quite a few things coming out pretty soon. I mean, probably a couple projects going screenings. I have my food. It's been sitting here for 2 hours. I'm waiting to eat it. Chris, did you grow up with Mortal Kombat?
Not really. I was more
No?
Street Fighter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me too. I liked Mortal Kombat though, but when I was in the movie theater. So I've told that story about Barnaby. Lazarus, I think we should move a minimum 50 to 100 years forward for Star Wars.
Oh.
I mean, you could get so far out of the range that you'd have to set up everything the way it is. I mean, I think that you should do at least that one project to explore that, right? I think that the problem is the fear of that's what they probably are scared of. And it's probably more so what Disney's scared of than even Lucasfilm is like, well, they won't know anybody. That's why they're bringing back Rey, because they don't know anybody. We got to build up new people all over again. We built up Rey, we built up all these people because we were able to build them off of Luke and Leia and Han, and we don't have anybody to build them off of. What are we doing? And they panic, too scared of it. But maybe eventually, for sure. I actually really loved Lindelof's idea more so than anything else about the old Rey.
Oh.
He wanted to have like a Helen Mirren version of Rey.
Oh, of course I heard about that.
Yeah, that was so much. So that to me, that was like
Logan was feral.
all right.
Couldn't hear the end of it.
That's what I wanted. I wanted to see that. That to me, an older Rey, like that's essentially what he's talking about, right? You put it that far into the future. Okay, next one. And this is you got 64 so far, Chris. Doing good.
Okay.
Doing real good. Jacob Matthews still got to catch Roke at 132, but who knows? That's what I really dig about this new version of the game. I'll find out on Sunday who the winner is and announce it on Monday. Ahsoka should be January, February release like Night of Seven Kingdoms. Agreed. Also prefer May releases for Star Wars movies as a 90s baby. Love and support from Kansas. So I agree with a lot of that. I do agree that the January, February release should, for no other reason except let's go. Let's start the beginning of the year. Let's start strong in your stuff. Let's go. I don't necessarily agree with the May releases for Star Wars because they put their Star Wars flag in the ground in December of 2015. They were the first movie to ever make $100 million opening weekend in December. No movie had ever done that before, Star Wars. And they owned it. When they moved, they Rogue One, Episode 7, Episode 8, they all did $1 billion when they came out in December. They shifted Solo to May. Now, there's a lot of other things with Solo too, but didn't help. I think it would have been significantly different if it came out in December. But Starfighter could serve better as a May movie. I don't know. What do you think, Chris?
I really like seeing Star Wars in the winter. It's nice. I like it. I like a Christmas movie. I do agree with starting things early in the year just so we can get the ball rolling and we have TV immediately, and that's really nice. Yeah, I mean, I think you can get away with like a blockbustery kind of movie in the summer. May, I don't know. I understand that it aligns with like the May the 4th and Revenge of the 5th and all of that. And I think that's fun to do at events or, releases or, the mall conclusion, that kind of stuff makes sense to me.
Right.
But yeah, I think if you go back to the formula that worked and what made them buku bucks, then you stick with that.
Mike Lovins. I can't wait to see the Sheep Detectives. People are really excited. I gotta check it out. Everybody loved it. I haven't heard a bad thing about it.
I sobbed. I was not prepared.
So this is what I'm wondering though, too, because I guarantee you, I have not heard a bad thing about this movie, but I guarantee you there's some, person who gave it a rotten score, right?
Oh, sure.
And that's again showing how I believe that the system at Rotten Tomatoes is flawed. So Sheep Detectives, right now it stands at 94%. So 94% of the 151 reviews. I want to go to the rotten ones. Where are the rotten ones? Where is it? I can't find. It's usually, God, they changed up their system too. Show me the rotten ones. I can't find them where they are. But anyway, they have 94. But sometimes that's the thing that drives me nuts about it. So if it's at 94%, again, as I mentioned, that whoever saw that movie and gave it whatever the review might have been, it means that they would have to give it anywhere under 3 out of 5. It just seems that many people loved it. I don't know. I didn't see the movie, so maybe who knows? Maybe I would have been one of those people, but I doubt it. Okay. Nathan Drake. How could you all be worthy? You're all killers. Ultron. There you go. Live Daily. Having Smets games withdrawals. Bring him back, please. He's coming. He's coming. Oh, and please play the
Kristian didn't put him on like a farm. What do you guys think he did?
And please play the long version.
Food tech? How me? You?
It's so ridiculous. All right. Maddie B, Miss Carr, have you ever done any live action movies, shows, or just animated voiceover work?
I have. I've mostly done indie stuff. I did a lot of commercials back in the day. I was the face of eHarmony for a while. And at the time I had a voiceover for Monostat running. So my big joke used to be I've got a face for dying alone and a voice for yeast infections. Which is real great. Parents were real proud. But I always joke I am queen of the cutting room floor when it comes to live action. I had Logan and I had a year where we booked so much stuff together as a couple where we were like in 3 music videos. We were in a Red Bull commercial. We got cut from everything. I was in a Star Wars commercial. I got cut from it.
No.
I was in Last Week Tonight. My lines all got cut and you just see me waving. I'm in the Chipotle episode. I still get residuals from it because my agent was awesome. But yeah, I'm trying to get back into live action though. Voiceover's just always been the thing that's worked.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of do, more of what works, less of what doesn't. So I'm slowly getting back into the TV stuff.
Mr. Crap and shits. Christian, maybe have Luke or PLD get the clip of Donald Gibb as Ogre yelling nerds. Yeah, Luke, that'd be great. Can you get that for when a really nerdy subject comes up? RIP. That we should honor him with that for sure. Luke, can we just get like a longer clip of nerds and just give it a little time to breathe? The Little Yankee, support for Chris. Hashtag Batman Beyond crew. Futog to all. Thank you.
And a merry futog to you.
Futog to you. Conrad, have all your reactors seen Silence of the Lambs or The Faculty?
Yes.
You've seen both, right?
I've seen both, yeah.
Yeah. I think everybody, Ming and Sam are definitely going to have seen those. Well, I don't know about The Faculty.
Winston, I bet, hasn't.
Has it? I know. It's just I'm trying to like for at least for the next couple of months. I'm just trying to hold back on too much right now, and then I hope to do some more reactions with everybody sooner. James Diesel official react to David Lynch Dune. Cool to compare them. Maybe before Dune 3 comes out. Maybe. I haven't seen that movie. I mean, listen, I think I watched maybe 10 minutes of that movie, the original, and that was enough for me to say I wasn't going to see the new one. And Riley was the one. I remember clearly Riley's like, dude, if they do this right, this is Star Wars. Like you're going to love it. And I was like, yeah, but the David Lynch, you can't base it off the David Lynch version. You can't. So, and he was right. Yoshimitsu, Mortal Kombat 2 was perfectly bad. I loved it. Did you see it yet, Chris? I forgot.
I have not.
Okay.
I need to.
It's
one of those ones where Logan wants to go see it with me.
Yeah.
And our schedules are not aligned right now at all. Because
Yeah.
I'm like, there's a showing at the Burbank Mall at 9 a.m. Do you want to go? And he's like, no. What? No, I have to work. What are you talking about? I'm like, that's stupid.
Do you ever go to the movies by yourself?
Oh, constantly. Sheep
okay.
Detectives I did by myself.
Oh, you did by yourself. Okay.
Because he was like, I don't think that's going to be good. And then I came home with my mascara all down my face. I was like, it's so beautiful.
Great. Yeah. Conrad, picture Ray as nobody. Sorry. Where the hell am I? Sorry. Picture Ray as nobody and Finn.
Ray who?
I'm in the middle of saying something. And Finn is Mace Windu's son. Any change in your love for the trilogy? I didn't love the Ray as nobody thing. I wasn't holding the thing. It should have been nobody. I hated it. I think that they set it up in the first movie where she should have been a descendant of Obi-Wan. And especially when Obi-Wan talks to her in that vision in the Force Awakens, then they could have gone back into the Clone Wars, into the animated series and revealed what really happened with Obi-Wan and that relationship he had, because they brought it, and they could have tied it all together. That would have made more sense. So I would have preferred that, but Finn as Mace Windu's son, it's just it basically would have to be like none of the Jedi were paying attention, and Jedi would just like they were like the Knights of the Night Watch. They were just banging everything that moved. Yeah, so you like Rey as a nobody.
I like her as a no, but I think Obi-Wan is the one that makes sense if she has to have some connection. But I like the idea of the Force isn't a like lineage thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with that either, but I think there's ways to do that without. When they were setting this up through this character, the reason why she was hidden, I think it would have made more sense.
Yeah, Obi-Wan would have made a ton of sense.
Yeah, Go Pal, love the faculty.
So fun.
Johnny Patriza, Chris, what or who got you into voice acting?
Ooh. Oh my gosh. Honestly, Cowboy Bebop was a big influence. Steve Bloom. I just was so in love with that show, and I thought his voice was so cool and epic. I fell into voiceover accidentally. In that I would do it like was trying to get into it constantly with commercials. I'd be like, oh, I could do the voiceover for this. I could do this. And then anime, a dude was really upset in my bar. I was nice to him. He offered me to audition.
Awesome.
Turned out that was Stephen Foster, who did a whole bunch of stuff for Sentai Filmworks. And then I did like 12 shows with him.
That's amazing. Look at that. See, that's how it happens. Yeah. Go Pal. David Lynch Dune has a great score. Maybe so. I have to. Maybe I will revisit it. I'm not going to say, or really, it would be your first time watch for me. It really would. Maddie B. The Faculty is one of the best young casts ever. Yeah. Who? Let's see.
Yeah. It's like baby Elijah Wood.
Let's see. The Faculty. I know Famke Jensen's in it too, right? Okay, Faculty. Let's see who you got. Oh wow, he's got is that Jordana Brewster? I think so. Jordana Brewster, Clea Duvall, Josh Hartnett, Laura Harris, Salma Hayek, Famke Janssen, Baby Newirth, Christopher McDonald, Robert Patrick, Usher, Jon Stewart. That's hilarious. Elijah Wood, John Abrams. Yeah, that's a pretty sad cast for sure. Definitely. Bobby, I'm interested in Nia DaCosta directing the pilot and episode 2 of Rhymes with Ex Criminals for Prime Video. Have you read the comic? No, I've not. Have you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I was gonna say I don't know if we'll get I'm sure we won't get demonetized, but Sex Criminals is the
Mm,
comic.
okay.
It is a wild comic in which this gal can stop time when she is having sex
Oh wow.
and comes across, pun
Literally.
intended,
Oh.
a gentleman who has the same power.
Oh.
And then we learn about like this whole world of people who can do this, and it's wild. It is a really, really crazy comic. I highly recommend reading it. It is obviously more
Ah.
risque. And the show is being produced by Kumail Nanjiani and his wife.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be on
There we
Amazon.
Okay, here we go. All right, thank you, Bobby. Go pal. I still quote Patrick Stewart's delivery of "I'm packing this for the crossing" all the time. So Patrick was Gurney Halleck in Lynch's Dune. Oh wow. Shit. See, yeah, I wouldn't even tell. I couldn't tell you anybody who was in that movie except Kyle MacLachlan, right?
Yeah.
He's the only person that I know from that movie. He's Paul Atreides. Okay, next one from Ray. I think Rey Mysterio's kid could play Eddie. I think he'd have to beef up a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dominic's is skinny. You have to beef up. Go pal. Also, there's a YouTube clip of Patrick Stewart talking about meeting Sting. That's hilarious.
Ooh,
All right, I got it.
have to look that up.
Yep. All right, so 75.
Okay.
Still pretty damn good. And so look, we'll give you an outro. If people want to keep us going, again, we can get Chris to 132, but the same thing is it's possible. Maybe we'll look at the end. The way that we're doing it now is we're going to look at the very end of the week. We're going to see who did the best monetarily, and whoever did, that person will get the bonus. So let's see. But as Chris Carr is going to sign off here today, Chris, where can they?
Oh, if you want to follow me, you can go to @itsChrisCarr over on Instagram. That's Chris with a K, Carr with 2 R's. If you would like more of my nonsense, you can go listen to Two Filthy Casuals. That's my podcast with Amy Newman. You can check it out on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. We have new episodes that drop on Fridays. We also have a Patreon that is completely unedited, and we do 2 episodes a month on that for $5 a month. Patreon.com/2filthycasualspod. And then if you're interested in voice acting, Speak Friend Studio, you guys. That's where I teach voiceover classes. It's all on Zoom. I try to make acting classes affordable for folks because being an actor is weirdly expensive. There's a lot of cost behind it. And I don't think a paywall should be between you and your acting goals. So come hang out with me in any of those ventures. Perfectly timed.
Luke, you just got to get a little bit. You got to give me a little bit of time in the right beginning. Right to the end. He just comes in, he's just screaming. You don't really get a chance to set it up. But all right. You got some more, Chris. Just kidding.
Okay.
You got some more. Okay. Paul Hitchcock. Thank you, Paul. Name the comedian from the punchline. Son, hypothetically, we should have $500,000, but realistically speaking, son, we're living with a couple of hoes. These super fillers suck. Bernie Mac? Am I right? I don't know. Tell me, I don't know.
Paul.
Yeah, I'm sure. Comic lover. Crow and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles felt special. Why can't films capture that magic? Mechanics of the Turtles, the sets of both films, amazing. Was it passion for films or a time capsule thing? What's the deal? All CGI now. I think it's a mixture of all that stuff. I think there's still people remember that the way that the business changes also, there are movies that are made like that at that scale, but you got to find them on streaming. You're not going to find them in the theater anymore. Movies that are made like that. Kind of, Chris. Yeah.
I was going to say, Yoshimitsu brought this up in the chat too, and I was going to say this. Project Hail Mary, though, does deliver on that with so many practical effects.
Yeah.
And yes, Rocky is yes-anded with CGI.
Sure.
But that's all puppetry and everything. That's a practical set that they're on and everything as well. So some movies are doing it, and that's why those movies should be rewarded. If you want to see more of those things, like Project Hail Mary right now, go see it a second time, go see it a third time. If you want more of those kinds of movies, back it up with money. We talked about this at the beginning of the show. If you want to see those kind of stories completed or executed in that way, you got to give the executives the cash.
It's the truth. All right, that ended you at 77.
Okay.
Again,
Respectable. I appreciate you guys.
super respectable.
Yeah.
Really generous today from the entire audience. Very, very kind of everybody for being here. Make sure you check out Chris Carr. Thank you to everybody who was in the chat today, everybody who's watching on the replay, people who are watching on Spotify. Thanks to Chris Carr, Luke, PLD, Jonathan, Smetsy, everybody for being part of it. Thank you guys so very much. I will be back tomorrow with Steph Sabra and Roxy. We're going to have a World Girls reunion tomorrow. And then on Friday, Winston and I will be on. So that will be the shows this week. We got House of the Dragon coming out. Ming's coming in on Friday. We're going to start the Invincible series. We're going to try that. And I'll let you know when that will air. So that's what we got going on. Thank you once again for being here. Really appreciate you all. You guys rule. Love it. Peace. Just screaming. Just screaming. All right, bye.